with respect to, trying to help people, we do have, Alessandro Molatare is a filmmaker who is documenting a lot of this process, and he's, I think, excited to, we documented people. He went and filmed their lives before they came and worked with us, so he got an experience of what their life was with Tourette's. Then the participants came to Albany. We filmed them working with Nancy Salzman and the team, and then they went back into their life, basically having overcome Tourette's, and then he filmed them. And hopefully, over the next year, that documentary will be coming out. I'm just curious, what do you hope could come from that, or is there anything around that?
I have mixed feelings about the documentary. I love the beauty of it. I love what it illustrates. I worry that people will misinterpret it as some sort of a miracle cure. It might be a really sharp tool that's unique, that may seem miraculous, but there's no miracle about it. It's not. I believe, if it is truly our tool and the sharpness of our tool and the uniqueness of our tool that is doing this, I think in some ways the uniqueness is what's giving unique results. But certainly, I don't want it to be interpreted the wrong way. But I also want people to have a deep, moving experience with that journey. Because it's a journey of people overcoming adversity. It's a journey of us overcoming adversity. Here we have, not just in the Tourette study, but in Rainbow Cultural Gardens with children, we have results that go against what scientists say is true. That's always difficult. To real scientists, that's exciting. To other people, that's either scary or miraculous. Neither one of those things. It's the way science has always worked. And if you look at most science, within 50 years, it'll be shown to be wrong. With respect to Rainbow Cultural Gardens, there's all sorts of beliefs about the linguistic capabilities of children and their what they do, what they don't do, all of this thing. And we have we have no results that show that science is accurate, and expanded results in not 1, not 2, not 5, not 10, many more cases that show that the science is just not thinking about this quite right. But the interesting thing is, this is a child's ability to develop language, but that's not really what our focus is. That's not what our desire is. Again, it's an effect. Children having this type of linguistic development that they experience with us is an effect of focusing on the child having more joy, better experience of life, more self-reliance, more self-awareness. The Tourette's thing is a result of focusing on you having a better life, more self-awareness, more joy. And that also is scary to people, because they want to make us into the Tourette's program or the Rainbow program or this program. It's not. You might say we're more the Joy program or the, building of the human psyche program, to be self-reliant, to be moral, to be ethical, to have character that can be applied with the person's will. Unfortunately, for many people, when someone comes into a program and develops self-reliance, a lot of the dependencies are shifted, and that's scary to people who don't know what it is. It'll be scary to people to see, someone with Tourette's can go in, and after a few hours they don't have Tourette's. There are all these people with Tourette's. Why don't they do it? Why aren't you doing it? Every person with Tourette's, it's almost an affront to them. If you've lived with Tourette's for 20, 30 years, and you hear, and maybe gone through deep brain stimulation and have been on drugs all these times, and we have all the people who are in the Tourette study, the drugs, they're not on drugs anymore, all of this sort of a thing. And suddenly you hear, all this time, all this stuff that I went through, you mean there was just some program where I could have had a conversation with someone for 4 hours and it'd all be gone? That's very disaffirming. It's like I used to have a funny joke in my own head when I was a little kid. We would always go to my relative's house And this was when I was, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. And I'd get in the back of a car and we'd go driving off. And 4 hours later, we'd be at my relative's house. And I used to make a joke that my parents were just pulling my leg. That actually, they were just driving around in a big circle. And if they really wanted to get there quickly, it's actually only 5 minutes away. But this whole circuitous loop. Well, when someone takes a long circuitous loop to get to a result that would have been much easier, not all people just say, well, that was a great journey and how much I learned from my 30 years of having Tourette's, and now it's changed in a conversation. This is all great. They feel totally disaffirmed. They feel that their identity has been threatened. And rightfully so. That's a normal human reaction. So we have to be mindful of that. We have to be compassionate about that.
I know.
Yeah, go.
That was my experience that when we first were looking for the candidates, and I think it was years ago now, but I posted on Facebook, hey, look, I overcame Tourette syndrome. I dealt with it for 20 years. We're looking for someone to be in the study. There's a grant for it. And the reaction was really negative at first, from a lot of people in the Tourette's community. And I think I didn't have that understanding then.
It's scary, to find something that you've toiled and suffered tremendously all your life with. It could have been removed, seemingly could have been removed even if there's a possibility it could have been removed in a few-hour conversation. That's rough.